A warm good evening, Anwar Chaudhary here. Welcome to my YouTube channel, arunfoot, and it's September the 10th. And an interesting day to come back with the show because it's the day that the judgment has come in the Anwar Ali case, and it's not been very favorable to the player. As expected, I would say. I can say I said so today. I said on the first day what I thought on the matter. Reading the facts, or rather knowing what the regulations are in regard to player transfers. And we now see the end result. Anwar Ali banned for 4 months. Delhi FC's Bengal, 2 transfer window ban. And Mohun Bagan get from the 3 parties 12.9 crores as compensation. So that's the topic. One of the topics. The other topic, of course, will continue to be the Indian national team. So let's see. Hi, Nishant. Welcome back. This thing has proved one thing to me: is Bengal considered Anwar Ali bigger than the club. Run machine. We'll talk about it and other things, I guess, as well. Syria, Indonesia drew with Australia. Yeah, Nishant. Some great matches played today or still ongoing in the Asian qualifiers. It's Bengal should sack the legal team, says Nishant. How can they sign a pre-contract with already contracted player? Yes. I mean, that's the whole point, is that if you see how the contract has been put together, how things have been put together, to me it looks very, very clear, evident that they were aware of what path they were going in this situation. I think there is nothing, and it's not surprising to me that things have come the way they've come, because I think it's not a question of the legal team. I think it's the club. I think I've said it a few times. To me, it seems like this summer seems to be a bit of a desperation in regard to challenging the big teams in the ISL. And yeah, let's wait and see where this whole thing goes. If ever had brain, they should have started scouting for diaspora players in the Middle East, especially Qatar and UAE. Many of them hold Indian passports. I've seen Mohammed Jamil is one of the examples. So there are much better players in Europe. I started the topic in 2001. The AIFF in this matter is not to be blamed. It's the government of India. Third round of qualifiers matches are amazing to see. Yes, Nishant said that. Very good evening as well. Rare. Dang. Yes, Shushmit, good evening to you as well. Good evening, Rachit. All good, except suddenly become cold in Germany. It was quite nice and warm over the weekend, so yeah, that's the situation. In 2016, India team ranked 135. Indonesia were 191. Today, Indonesia is 135 and doing better than India. On the other hand, India have done nothing. Rare, I've said this multiple times. Players of origin, yes. Indonesian league is another one. Look at who's the sports minister, who's contributing to all of the things. So yeah, this is something which is, the reality of things. So therefore, Indonesia are much, much better than they were 10 years ago. Who is the one to blame for East Bengal? Shovik, I think the buck stops with the club officials. It stops with the sporting management who have, initiated this transfer. But I see a lot of East Bengal fans blaming everybody but the own management. I think that's where the question needs to be asked, is why did they go for Anwar in the situation where it's not clear? So they have to look in their own house. Successfully Up a promising career during his best years. Well done, Bajaj. On up, at least don't use the last word that you've written. I think show a little bit of respect, and this is vice versa to everyone. Do you agree that change in management is the first right step as of now to change the fortune of Indian football, because this Chauve guys worked in such a way that profile tenure start looking better? Yeah, but is it Chauve? Is it? I think the secretariat is the main one to blame. But it's not the AIFF. It's all stakeholders. As I say, it's the clubs, it's the academies, it's the football schools, it's the coaches. This is the end product. PFC gives very good decisions, sir. Shushanto, it's not about if it's a good or bad decision. It is about right or wrong. The PFC is given a right decision, period. That's my point today. I see ISL as a comfort zone for both foreigners as well as Indians. I will give an example for same. Okay, Gerondre. I heard Mohun Bagan Super Giants going to appeal as they want more money. Even they're thinking to go to CAS as well. Dittoraj, they could. Yeah, but the question for Mohun Bagan is, what do you want out of this? You want more money out of this? That's your problem in this case? Let's see. Bro, 12.9 crore lottery lage, you should give party to Men Ronaldo. Maybe they'll give the party on Friday itself, huh? Who knows? Just if you question, whatever happens to decision after appeal, should the case go to CAS, can the amount of compensation increase, and can FSL punish even for deducting points like people did with Everton? Let me answer this point deduction by the league. No, they can't, because that point deduction is regarding financial irregularities. This is about transfer, so they could go to CAS. My advice would be to East Bengal, to Delhi FC, and all. If you go to CAS, you will lose even more badly, and the fine will most probably go higher, maybe double, right? So CAS is not going to be the savior, because the player's broken the contract, period. Nobody's going to think in any other way. The player has broken the contract. You instigated, most probably, the player. If they say that they instigated, there could be even harsher punishments. And then they will ask who were the people. Then there could be bans to those individuals. So if you go to a higher authority, to CAS, I would say the punishment will be stricter. Shushmit said the two that Mohun Bagan will go to higher to that. Kudos to you, sir. The only one who predicts his inevitable verdict and stick to it, unlike other so-called experts. Yeah, Blue. And the fun one is now people are claiming I said this, I said that. No, you didn't, guys. None of you said it. Nobody in Indian football said it. So don't stop fooling people by saying that. Tonight, there's one person, yes, and that person is talking at this moment. That was me who said, what is the fact? Other people I know picked it up, but you were not the first. So don't fool people around with that. It's very, very clear that there are rules and regulations that govern the sport. And a lot of people, a lot of clubs have misused the system to break the rules and regulations of the game. Nowadays, it's not possible anymore. Good evening, Shomik. Rachit Bhai, Mohun will go to higher courts to earn more money they got off easy. If East Bengal take the Anwar issue to FIFA, what will happen? So the question is if they're going to go to the appeals committee or if they're going to go to the player status tribunal. Otherwise, they can go to CAS. Higher authorities is not going to help East Bengal and Anwar in this case. And same for a few players like Rexton and all, they know that they are no more excellent for other leagues, so taking her salary here where the left nose scored 0 in 8 goals in Scotland. 8 games in Scotland, okay. If it means bigger party, we're supporting you guys day in, day out. Nice, Rachit. How about to see unofficial email for this season due to lack of transfers because of ban? Hope to see new talents emerge. I think that they are trying to sort the transfer stuff out. You know, so therefore that will be interesting to see how you know. So therefore, there are a lot of players who are waiting for the clearances to join Hyderabad. So that's another thing. This is for what's right. Every honest club will otherwise suffer. Will definitely give you a party. They should have got the NOC first, then proceeding with the circular. Saying PSC has no right to judge a fine. How there is a system in Indian football, right? Or do we live in Jungle Raj? Simple question. I think some people in Kolkata think, or other people elsewhere think we live in Jungle Raj. No, we don't these days, right? So this is the end result of arrogance, not knowing rules, of thinking you're above the law in football. Nobody is. And again, let's be honest, it's not an East Bengal issue. East Bengal, Mohun Bagan, Mohammedan, Mr. Bajaj, all of them have broken the laws in the past. Nothing has happened. Now it's happening. So that's good. If India football have guts to open do this kind of illegal things, they got help in football. Yeah, but he's done it. He's broken his contract, and he was instigated to break his contract. And most probably, in this case, I don't think the player realizes what he did. I don't know if he's understood what he's done, right? Then what's the value of having a contract? Then just do 12 months, and then every summer we jumble up. Let's then do a draft every summer. My question is, do you see East Bengal will dish out a harsher punishment if they go to hardcore? Yes, I think so. If they go to CAS, the punishment will be most probably higher. Hey man, people are saying if Anwar case goes to few might get banned. Why will we get a ban? How does the AIFF get a ban in this? Do people understand how football? I seriously question the minds, the brains of these people. How idiotic do you have to be to think that? The AIFF has not done anything wrong. It's time for you to go and question your own club. So this is the real problem, right? For once, the AIFF has put in a committee, you know, and has gone the right pathway, taken the right process. Again, the NOC, I think, issuing was wrong. I think Anwar Ali should only be allowed to join East Bengal post transfer ban. So let's see how we're going to do this. AIFF formed a committee earlier to monitor and study Indian heritage players. Or what is the point to form this when we can't give chance to signal play legally or logically? Giron Rear, I have a list. If the AIFF tomorrow wants to talk about it, let's sit down. But it is worth nothing if the government doesn't change its stand. I just saw Khelna program Anwar Ali verdict. Ashish just slammed East Bengal for being down to these levels. For him, if East Bengal is moving to CAS, it will be a greater blunder for themselves. That's what I'm saying. And that's what I've said from day one. Sorry. If East Bengal thinks that at a higher level, they are going to be correct, no, they won't. Why would the danger is for East Bengal rather that the fine will be substantially higher, right? They could look at it at international levels, and suddenly you're not talking about what 12.9 crores. Suddenly he's talking about, I don't know, 25, 50, 100 crores. Who knows? This is East Bengal has created a situation where they've done the worst sin in the eyes of FIFA, which is to approach a player who's under contract with another entity. It's the worst sin. If you ask them in football what a club could do, it's not the financial side. It's on the players. This has to be understood. This is a cardinal sin that East Bengal has committed, right? And I've said multiple times that East Bengal fans need to question the officials who have been part of this. Why did they do that? Why did no one at East Bengal check with the AIFF and ask, listen, what is the status of this player before they approached the player? Even an approach is illegal if the player is not into the last 6 months of his contract. So, do you suggest Mohammad Zubair to go to CAS? Had you been in Mohammad, would you have appealed to the CAS as Mohammad? I don't think Mohun Bagan needs to appeal to CAS because I think the other side, will go to CAS. It looks like. I think the only thing, let me think. Maybe it makes sense to go to CAS, it's not for I would not go for monetary issues in regard to that. The compensation is not enough. I would rather ask the question is that NOC granted by the PSC, was that right or wrong? Because the NOC normally has to come from a club, right? So could you put the whole thing into even bigger trouble? Because then Anwar can't get transferred. Anwar, where does he end up? Right? Because Delhi can't transfer the player. Delhi can't sign a player. East Bengal can't transfer players. If you want to, if Mohun Bagan wanted to really play dirty, that would be the point to raise. East Bengal had no business poking those in Anwar Ali saga. They should have waited out. Yes, Parameshwar, exactly. The question here is that let this whole Mohun Bagan versus Anwar Ali saga go on. Again, other clubs were approached. All of them did hands off. This is too tricky. They just moved away. And that's the situation that we find ourselves in, right? That's the whole complexity of this whole situation, that the player is contracted to Delhi FC, is on loan, long-term loan to Mohun Bagan, and he wants to leave Mohun Bagan because he realizes that there are certain other players who are suddenly earning, and that's the real problem. Sir, to be honest, it really seems like East Bengal FC exists only to get owned by Mohun Bagan on and off the field. Most of them stay silent. They themselves will do something to get over by them. Yeah, nothing more to add, Rashid. Yeah. So only you said about PSC should set an example. Shishanta, thank you. That's what I said, and that I will continue again. And now I think 3-4 people are claiming that they said it from day one. No, they didn't. And I know that most of our people saw what I said, and then they started saying what they said afterwards. So sorry, guys, give people credit for it, right? East Bengal fans coming out with wrong baseless talks of FIFA CAS. They don't know what FIFA rules are still not applied in India, and AIFF is not wrong with one what deal. CAS of FIFA will increase fine, right? Yeah, in India dreams World Cup. If East Bengal, Delhi FC think that FIFA and CAS will step in and support them in their illegal acts, they won't. So that's the danger. That's the danger that they don't seem to realize, that going to CAS is something which will not take us in the right direction. 3-4 injuries will be enough for East Bengal to finish 9 for 2 more seasons. Rachit, there are injuries, and there will be players next summer who will leave. Even, and that's going to be the question. So therefore, that should be the question that they ask their club management: is what situation have you gotten us in? I won't be surprised if Manoj's friend in East Bengal administration who bailed him out by making such one-sided contract. Rameshwar, that's a statement from your side. I don't know. One East Bengal official told the press that PSC doesn't have the power to apply compensation to any club. They do. That's their bloody job. This is how they're trying to fool their own fan base, and the fan base is believing it. I hope East Bengal, that they wake up and they start questioning their officials and the sporting management. Hyderabad FC has already signed Saigorat. Hyderabad FC has signed nobody. Zoravar, they still have a FIFA ban on them. I have not heard anything that any ban has been lifted. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but so far as I've heard, nothing is. Sir, can you briefly explain Japanese school football structure and the development program? Nishant, I don't know enough about that to be explaining that. Sorry, don't know enough. Difference between you and Ashish Negi is he do YouTube live for masala and views, and you do live to talk on actual facts in the football. Here and there, I wouldn't be too hard and too harsh on Ashish. Ashish has done a lot of reporting on this matter, which has been not a lot of he's been right. It's just that when I started talking about the matter, I just looked at it from a factual standpoint, and again, I don't talk too much about it, but again, I've worked in football for 26 years. I am not a journalist. Yes, I have a media side to me, but I've worked in football for 26 years. So I do know a few things and how it should work. And now these PSC is not a body that you'll be able to influence. It's an independent body. It's part of that system. Yeah? So in one thing that we can today say after this clear-cut judgment from the PSC, again, they could have been harsher. They haven't gone full throttle. Full throttle would have been 6 months ban for Anwar and, I don't know, maybe a 20-25 crore fine on the three entities. That would be a harsh punishment. This is as per the minimum fine and ban and punishment you have to give, right? So that's the fact. If cares so much of Anwar and don't want him to suffer, then why he kept a clause in knowing that it's fine to hit the FC, won't have to give any money to it, isn't it? Back then, India Dreams World Cup, you have to ask the gentleman. You have to ask the gentleman, you have to ask the player, you have to ask EB. Again, the contract itself has so many flaws because you're giving it so many bonuses. I think the ISL needs to step in and look at contracts of players and actually needs to say, listen, guys, you know what? Salary cap. Otherwise, remove the salary cap is a joke. None of the clubs are paying 18 crores, right? That's another topic that needs to be had. The salary cap has become a joke because you do side contracts here, there, everywhere. Do we know that the players are earning actually as much as people are saying? Most probably there are side clauses where they're earning even more. I hope any Northeast club emerge a surprise win, and I like that. We're interested to see maybe Lajong. Prashantji, that'd be nice, but I don't see Lajong then being promoted to the ISL because the criteria are tough. Thanks, Rachit, for coming in. Catch you soon. Do you think was the one who instigated Amr to break contract? Zoravar, I don't know, but again, it was at the end of it was about money. Indonesia punched over their way to draw against Australia. Murali, they have potential. Indonesia are the team of the moment. East Bengal fans are the ones claiming that FIFA will ban India. Zoravar, it's very sad. Very, very sad. Hi, Neil. Welcome back. One EB YouTuber name, saying he's going to appeal and the verdict will be overturned because saying the same. Dipturaj, why would they do that? The verdict is utterly correct. If anyone questions the verdict, I would say to that person, stop watching football. Seriously. Look for something else. Don't watch football. Don't support football because you don't understand the sport and the rules and regulations of the sport, the laws of the game. Right? The time has come that we do a cleanup in Indian football. And If people don't want to follow the rules and regulations that are there, don't be in football. Just do something else. Watch, I don't know, watch a serial, watch Netflix, watch something else. Don't come and talk about football. If you don't know the rules and regulations, I am fed up with illiterate people, who don't want to learn things, don't want to understand things, destroying Indian football. The state of the national team is just an example, that we have too many people in and around. We need to question the people, right, who are running Indian football at all different levels. The Indian national team is the end product of what's been done in the last 10, 15 years in youth development. Ask this gentleman who was involved in the Anwar Ali case, what talent have you produced? Right? What have these big clubs done for Indian football in the last 100 years? That is another question we should be asking. Are they helping or are they a burden for Indian football? We're talking about these things. We're not talking about development. We're not talking about today we should be talking, after losing yesterday with the way we did, about development and what Indian football needs to change in this second to be better in the next 6 months when we start. Yeah. So what am I going to say? I think countries like Iraq, Qatar, Uzbekistan, Indonesia, North Korea, Bahrain will qualify World Cup before India. Some of them have done. Iraq has done. North Korea has been there. UAE has been there. So yeah, they've been there. East Bengal has hampered their own dignity, and that also for a player like Anwar Ali was unnecessary. He could have got other defenders at cheaper price. Prasanjit, yeah. Sri Lanka qualified, Indonesia drew Australia, but where is India? Forget Bangladesh, we can beat Sri Lanka. Yeah, Richard, those days are coming. Those days are coming. East Bengal fans are the ones who approve and support the wrongdoing of EB management. They are still supported, thinking they can turn everything. Some you say, and what is worth 32? Is he worth? What am I supposed to say? But it's not a question of Anwar and EB. I think other fan groups are doing the same to their players. I see people defending players who played for the national team and who are, who are not worth wearing the India jersey yesterday, right? And this is very difficult to digest. That again, that fans need to be honest enough to themselves, that where do we stand and what do we need to do? Otherwise, things will not change. That's a problem. Really have a new welcome to my arunfoot. My name is Anwar Ali. And let's have more people join in the conversations that we have here on this platform. So those of you who've been following, thanks a lot. And as always, as I say, like, share, and subscribe. East Bengal officials are under fan pressure after poor performance. They tried this gimmick to save their face and it got backfired. So rather Ali issue, to me, East Bengal did a very good job in the transfer window. They actually did a very, very good job with the players that they signed. Yes, an Indian centre back would have been so for that. East Bengal were doing, what I was saying, a good job in the transfer window, a very good job in the transfer window, right? Okay, they were overplaying players. Again, that's an Indian football problem. The issue was an Indian centre back, which they thought they needed. Yes, okay, got it. But it was, I don't know why they went for it. Because otherwise, I think East Bengal overall could have had a good season. Now it's a complete mess. It's a complete mess that they got themselves into, and I don't know how they're going to get out of it. Sri Lanka played crazy. Their white origin players made a crazy comeback to win against Cambodia. In Cambodia for 2001 Asian Cup. Even Sri Lanka plays better football in India. South one. XYZ, yeah, origin players, huh? East Bengal has a tendency to get this kind of tough situations here on rare. Okay. It's to be part of this case, and now they are the biggest loser. What were the stupid officials doing? Group thought they would get away with it. That's the sad part, no? Yeah. So नॉर्वे का प्लेयर गया था कस और 2 year बैन बदकर 4 year हो गया. Yeah, Rahul. Or there's this player who had gone to CAS regarding a doping thing, a player with Hamburg who had a 2 year ban, and this ban was also turned into 4 years. Few fans, channel, and influence owner are still defending the decision. Trishanto, let them, right? So this is whoever wants to defend it, please go ahead and defend it. But there is, you know, this. I said it from day one, and I still stick to it. Minimum, and this is minimum punishment given, right? So take it. East Bengal management dug their own grave. Yeah, Punjab, sadly they did. What's the difference between transfer ban and registration ban? Because basically, if registration ban, that's the same thing, because a transfer can't be registered. So you can't register a player, and that means that you have a transfer ban. Sir, a great person of Imam East Bengal is saying that PSC define money. What do you think about it? Of course they can. They are there for this reason. They are the player status committee. That's the whole reason why they're there. Every time extended deadline to join East Bengal, Shosh Bhumi to famous the way they will accommodate us, we will not, and they will agree to tell that is the power of Kolkata clubs. Shambit, ISL has made a number of exceptions for clubs over the last few years to stay alive. If they had applied the rules that they set themselves in 2014, maybe a lot of clubs wouldn't be there. Right? Hyderabad would have been gone. Mohammedan would have not been playing ISL this year. And as you're saying, East Bengal most probably would not have joined ISL in 2020. So therefore, they have to have a little bit of flexibility, but it has nothing to do with being a Kolkata club or not. They do it for every franchise. This is something that all the Kolkata clubs need to understand, that the world does not revolve around you. Indian football has grown to a certain extent now, that there are other entities as well, right? And this is something, sadly, I have to say this as a Bengali. I think that in the Bengali psyche, we need to understand football doesn't revolve around only us. That's a big problem, I feel, that we have in Bengal these days. Imami most likely break up the time after this. So I don't know. Surprised RB was not been banned forever. He was clearly involved in this. Afreen, Shivankar, could happen. If they go to CAS, I think then individuals could get in trouble at both East Bengal and Delhi FC. I think that's another thing that these guys are not considering. That could be a danger to them. If they go to CAS, they will then ask who initiated these things. But then they will look at the persons who initiated the talks and all that stuff, and they won't be able to get out of it. It's very evident who all were involved. What if we get a stay order, makes Anwar play later, gets compensation amount deducted and transfer ban reduces this rare possibility? I don't think so, Arithro, because who will give the stay order? If anyone goes to a normal court, I would then initiate football action against those people, and they could be banned for life from football. So I had Mohan Bagan are not satisfied with the judgment. They want more tough punishment. They're going to appeal probably. Guardiola, again, yeah, I think for them, I can't say anything more. I mean, for Mombagan, it also makes no sense because I would rather say, let it die out. You're getting some sort of compensation. I think it's fine. So I wouldn't bother about it. If East Bengal goes to CAS, they will punish AIFF East Bengal journalists. Is possible? No, of course not. Who in their sane mind, really in their sane mind, can think and say that CAS will take action against the AIFF for a decision which has been taken by the Player Status Committee according to the rules and regulations of the game? Right? So that is something that is, yeah, I don't know. The main problem is the AIFF. How did they not implement FIFA new ruling on loaning that loan period should be 1 year into the system duration was still 25? Why is the AIFF the problem, FC Europe? The duration was till 2025. Are we in 2025? There is an implementation period. Old contracts are still valid. Right? Please, guys, think. Use your brains. All of us have been given a brain to think. Understand things. Because it's very, very easy to blame here, there, and everywhere. No, there is the chain is very simple. It has been from day one. After getting the verdict, can we get a stay order from the appeal committee? They could try, but I think the PSC has been very clear. Right. Your friend Funofobo said it's a faulty verdict and FIFA are going to overturn it. First of all, after all that's happened, no longer a friend, I would say. And secondly, FIFA is never going to overturn it. And these guys think they know football and they don't know jack shit. Sorry. Please follow all these people who think they know Indian football or football at all. There are tons of them. Again, and I'll be arrogant enough today, I can say that I said so on day one. If PSC follows what should be done, and they've done it. So that's the thing. Are you happy? Jokes apart, I'm really concerned how top clubs in India run. No one making any money. Everyone losing a bunch. Without getting rich. Pathetic grassroots. Abhijit, no, I'm not happy. Because the point here is, to me, very often I would rather be wrong than right. But I speak from experience, from knowledge, right? And in India, knowledge and experience doesn't count. Everyone can BS his way through and say what he thinks and blah, blah, whatever. And that's destroying the game. In my opinion, that is really destroying the game. And the outcome is that where we are today is where you see with the national team. That is the outcome all over this. There are so many people involved where I'd say, oh God, what are you doing in football? So Bajaj claims developing youth players Manvira from his academy, shows how good his academy is. But so I would ask him those questions if he allows to be asked. What have you developed really over the last 10, 15 years? Sri Lanka looks really scary with OCI players. Do you think they are better than us now? They have the potential. I don't know if they're better than us already, but they will, again, all of them. Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Pakistan, even if Nepal gets the one or the other player, the players of origin will be a topic. And it will become a big topic if we don't qualify for the AFC Asian Cup. Next year, I think it will become a very, very big topic. Let's see what happens. I don't understand why East Bengal fans only keep talking about past legacy. Literally, it's not going to help us in bigger context. Grow up fans who are more years behind than your club's age from world football. That's the problem. I think the question needs to be asked to a lot of fans of teams in India or club sides in India. Do you really care about Indian football? I don't think they care. I mean, I can tell you examples of, if you look at videos that I've done over the last year now, right? I've done now a series also on the future of Indian football on this channel. Multiple videos on discussing on what needs to, people are interested. People are interested in this. For example, Anwar. I mean, we now have 76 people watching. We've had nearly 100 people watching today. When we talk normal stuff, when we talk development, so many people will not be in, and that's the problem. We need to talk about those things. 33 crore for Anwar or 30 crore on U13 for 5 years. Don't you think this will give us better players than Anwar? Guardiola, the answer is already in the question. That's the problem of the big clubs. The top players are overpaid, paid, all of them, right? So let's see. So Anwar won't play in the October window. XYZ, I don't know what Manolo is going to do. Knowing Manolo might actually think about bringing him in, could be. But again, yesterday we saw he's not in the right frame of mind to play football. That is, Anwar Ali is a much better player than what he played yesterday. And I feel sorry for the player at the end of the day, because the player has been played, into this whole situation, sadly. That is the brutal reality of this. The player is actually the victim, but again, it's also about the money, right? So can he claim that he's the victim? So, yeah. Imagine India losing 1-0 to Sri Lanka, Pakistan, and getting out of Bhutan, Andaman, and South. See, losing to Sri Lanka and Pakistan is, I don't know. It's not even unrealistic. Effing up 2 windows for one player is insane. Yeah, Blue, it is. We put pressure on AIFF for saying we'll go to Supreme Court against AIFF so that he can bully them for their own benefits. Hemant, he's one of the people who's put us into the FIFA ban. Ask him that. He's done that. We say AIFF incompetent. Even Madrid said, hold my torch. Why do they gain from it even if it goes their way? Why even join the ISL without winning I-League? What is the plan exactly? Just beating. Obijit, I asked this question to a lot of friends of mine who are East Bengal fans, and I say this as someone as someone who's sympathetic to East Bengal. I said in 2020, don't go into the ISL. Take another year, win the I-League, and then on your own terms go to the ISL. And look at what mess East Bengal has been for the last 4 years. And this is something, there has to be change at East Bengal. But who is going to call this change? Who's going to say, listen, guys, we need new ways? That doesn't mean that Mohun Bagan is better. It's just that Mr. Goenka's money is sugarcoating everything at Mohun Bagan. So let's not think that Mohun Bagan is doing everything perfect, right? So yeah, that's the reality of club management of the top clubs in India. Neither Sarkar is now saying how can PSC declare the final amount. Palash, I've discussed it a number of times already today. He is in a difficult spot because he is one of the people who's involved in all of this. And Nitu Sarkar needs to understand that if he goes to CAS, the same is also for Ranjit. Guys could individually get banned by FIFA and CAS. So be aware of what your next step is. But they will go, and they will, most probably get what they deserve. Sad to say that, but that's the reality. Don't know if it's a stupid question or not. Is there any clause or condition on compensation amount that Mohun needs to buy a centre back equal or near to Anwar's salary, or they can use it on their own means? Ankon, No question is too stupid. Better you ask. I always say it's better if you don't know something, ask. All of you guys, if you don't know something, just ask. If I don't know, as I said earlier, I was asked about the school football structure in Japan. I don't know enough. That's why I will not answer. But if I know, I will answer. Mohun Bagan can use the money the way they want to. So they can, take up whatever they think is right for them. Another kudos to you. Was spot on from day one regarding the outcome. Thank you, Vishnu. The only thing which I wasn't right on was the compensation amount, because I said 8 to 10 plus X. So that was 12.9. Okay. But the law is very, very clear. I mean, just anyone with a little common sense reads it, will understand what the player is violated, and then say, this is what is going to happen. And therefore, yeah. New agenda in the market, Moonman destroyed a career these fans will never accept. Yeah, bro, that's the problem. What's Imani's role in this whole fiasco? Can they think they have enough of Ismail shenanigans? What do you as an Ismail feel about the direction of the club? Can our authorities increase fine? I don't know what Imami is thinking. I think Imami surely for Imami, it's not looking good, because you actually said, let's see. There are other people who have now come in to East Bengal to put money into the club. So that's the challenge. And I think East Bengal supporters need to ask the question of where the club is going. Yes, that's it. And if as I said, if it goes to CAS, the punishment is going to be higher. Hello, Vikram. Welcome back. Today, North Korea draw with Qatar 2-2 world-class, 2 world-class goals from North Korea. When will we give these type of dedication in football? Vikram, I would love to see that today itself, but yeah, let's wait and see. Hi, Utsav. Do you think East Bengal are could further escalate this? And if they do so, would the punishment be more harsh? Yes, I think so. CAS will not be your friend. CAS doesn't care who you are. CAS has a FIFA handed fines, bans to clubs like Real Madrid, Barcelona, Chelsea, Man United, Bayern Munich, you name it, PSG. They've all been fined or whatever for things in the past. They don't care. And who is East Bengal or Mohun Bagan in front of FIFA or CAS? It is Indian football. CAS does not care who you come from. So that's the reality. Pakistan players are comparing Sunil with Babar Azam and calling him Ghanta, mocking his humans. I don't know who that guy is, so don't know. Also, you should support our player regardless of what he has done. Anwar is a talented player. Chetan, I support him, yes, but I don't support a player when he does something wrong. Period. I say this for anyone, everyone, and in this case, Anwar's done something wrong, so he needs to be punished. Sorry to say that. It's simple as that. Anwar is a true Mohun Bagan legend, destroyed rival club without even playing. Yeah. Legacy don't runs the football. Example is Chelsea, nothing for us. Forest won Champions League back in 61, but they never transformed in time. Yeah, reality. Anwar, please explain what is RSTP rule, like AIFF's own RSTP rule and FIFA's own, or FIFA is followed by AIFF. FIFA is regarding the transfer system. FIFA has some general rules, and then the national body has some rules of its own, and then they're on top of those rules. So, and therefore, for example, FIFA can tell you, for example, that long-term loan deals will not be allowed from 2025, right? That's one of the things that they've said, but they've given a transition period so that, listen, get your contracts in order till 2025. So that's where they thought they had a loophole, but it didn't work. Guess that team we beat it last year, they're competing with the base of what the hell we're doing. Vikram, again, we were also playing at home. Again, also what we need to understand, we were competing against these teams in friendly tournaments at home. We were not playing World Cup qualifiers. We're not playing Asian qualifiers. We were not even playing in the Asian Cup, right? So therefore, I don't take those results too seriously. If yesterday was a real World Cup qualifier between Syria and India, Syria would have destroyed us. I think people are not realizing how bad we were yesterday, and Syria let us live, right? So that is something which I feel we need to remember. You were right from day one about decision that will come. I also know that you are true, and it's the reality. I think ban should be of 6 months. Manolo, yeah, 6 months, most probably, but 4 is better than none. I think the bigger issue is the NOC. I think that the PSC should have not issued the NOC, because I think the PSC doesn't have the authority to issue the NOC. So that would have also caused another problem, because that would have put Anwar's career really in jeopardy. Yeah, so they saved him from that. East Bengal is now at Mohun Bagan's jersey being rivals. I don't think Mohun will allow this settle easily. This easily expect even more harsher punishment. So, let's wait and see. What is the difference between CAS and FIFA? FIFA is the global football governing body, Shumon, and CAS is the global sports legal body. It's called the Court of Arbitration of Sports. So it's the legal body of sports globally. So, for example, Vinesh Fogart, in the case regarding the Olympics, right, went to CAS to try and see if the rules could be overturned. Of course, they weren't. But again, we also saw that, that the whole of India was saying, "Oh, yeah, this and that, everything." No, she missed. As sad as it is that she missed it, but she missed the weight category. So therefore, and CAS will not take it. And that, again, CAS doesn't care who you are. That's a good thing. It doesn't matter if you're big or small or important or unimportant, doesn't matter. Mohun should not appeal. They will have a better case if the other side appeal. That would be my approach. Yes, Blue. Because the other side is saying they will not accept it. So therefore, yeah. Allowing NOC to Anwar was not correct. Should Mohun Bagan can add this in appeal committees and CAS? Yeah, they could. If they want to, that is the only thing that I say for that. It means, as I said earlier, I think that's the only reason that makes sense for Mohun Bagan Supergiant to really say, listen, you know what? There's this one thing that we just want to discuss. Do you think that the NOC issued by the PSC was right or wrong? That is something that they can do. Besides, of course, saying, hey, listen, we want higher compensation, because it's not everything. During the interim order, everyone was crying foul, including you. I don't like this aspect of Indian society, too emotional, too chaotic, not analytical. Obhijit, I get where you're coming from, but I try to be as analytical as possible. But again, we just spoke about the NOC, and I still think that the NOC issue ends by the PSC was wrong. So to me, we can talk about everything, but yeah, the facts are the facts. At the end of the day, the facts have won in this case. Nothing else, nothing else. Do you think people who don't know football, misguided player and fans speaking truth often felt threatened in your scenario? Yeah. Murali, yes. It is not about the truth. It is not about reality. It is not about the facts. This world today is very, very, very difficult, complex, and therefore the truth has to be said. No, let's get to the bottom or never repeat the same again. Now let's get to the bottom. Obviously, we need to get to the bottom of this. I think we are at the bottom of this, because I think everything is known. I think for the other players, it's a clear-cut understanding, that contracts are worth keeping, right, and not breaking. And if you want to break it, don't break it, but discuss with the club and then terminate, right? Mutual termination, I think, is the main thing. News that Mohun Bagan Supergiant is going for challenge. Do you think that's the right news? If yes, what more than seek, according to you? Tomogno, yes, that's what I have also heard. They might be, what I'm hearing is they want more money as compensation. And on the other side, I think, as I said, I think the NOC is a topic, I'm said RB is getting away so easily. He called himself Godfather and whatnot, but when it comes to money, he just backstabs him. It's a welcome to the world of Indian football, right? And as I said, um, going to CAS, these guys don't understand what CAS is. CAS is going to take them apart. Seriously, they are going to be in serious trouble. Bengal clubs should seriously rethink of their approach of wasting crores and overpaying the players, instead spend it on grassroots or academy. Chetan, yes, brilliant, but they will not do it. They look at short-term success. None of them are looking at long-term success. That's the problem, right? That's an issue where we are stuck. Right. Nearly an hour of our discussion on a Tuesday night where a lot of things have been said and done. 1,652 followers. Thank you very, very much for all of you who have joined this channel today, and keep following, keep growing. Again, as I say, I want to be honest and as truthful as possible in regard to these matters. And as I always say, if I'm wrong, I'll say I'm wrong, right? So that, or if I don't know, I don't know. But in this case, yeah. If you get opportunity to work with Indian football, what terms and conditions will you say to them? Morally, I will not say that in public, right? If someone approaches me, I will talk to them and we'll try and work out something. But this is not something that I would disclose publicly. Hi Navneet, are the U20 national team confirmed to be part of I-League after their sub? Was not sure if they deserve the position. Also, how better would it be if each state, if they had a U20 in state leagues? Has the I-League been confirmed? Just asking generally. I've not heard anything, right? So let that be done first. Do they deserve the under-20s the position in the I-League? Some people will say no, some people will say yes. I belong to the people who say yes, because even if they lose on a regular basis, it's a brutal but harsh learning for these boys. I think that's good. U18 team in state leagues looks difficult, I feel, because I don't think the state FAs have the money to be able to sustain a U18 team in their respective state leagues. And again, that would weaken the clubs as well in the state leagues, and not in the state leagues, but in the respective U18 leagues or U17 leagues, or even in the AIFF youth leagues. Sir, I feel AIFF's delay in implementation of the rule left Anwar uncertain about his future. The loan deal would expire in 25 along with this controversiality, thus going to mature termination. No, FC Euro, I don't think so. And a player like Anwar, again, we need to talk about his long-term contract with Delhi FC. That's another thing that will, most probably, if they go to CAS, will crop up. His contract was not expiring. He had enough time. So therefore, for me, not a problem. Please, player is not the victim, he's an accomplice. Yeah, that's the problem. Hey, Shaggy. Good to see you, man. It's a good precedent in Indian football for the future with Anwar Ali. And why only a short ban of 4 months? It's a big amount of money. Implications of East Bengal paying up. 6 months, I think, would have been max, according to my reading of the rules and regulations. Yes, it's a lot of money, but again, if they go to high authorities, they could really be in trouble. And if East Bengal don't pay up, it extends their, as is with when you don't pay money to your players who've left, like the Hyderabad FC FIFA bans, transfer bans, the ban gets expanded. It says 3, but again, if you don't repay long term, it becomes an even bigger problem. If East Bengal Anwar do not pay, what will happen to them? As I just said, East Bengal's transfer ban gets extended, and Anwar Ali potentially also gets his. They've got 45 days, and then after 45 days, gets expanded. That's the norm. Max was 6 months as per the law. They cannot give more than 6. That 6 months is also an exception. Yeah. Well, I'll just say Anwar is an adult who was one at the time of signing contract for Monbank Super Giants. Terminated. What happened is his fault, irrespective of who induced him. For him, he deserves every bit of it. Yeah, Oritro. Yeah, as sad as it is. Sorry, sir, I can't agree that East Bengal and Mohun are same. Mohun won 2 I-League titles, while if I 1-0, that too with Quest 1 was without sponsor. I'm not talking about the last few years. I'm talking about the long term in regard to what these clubs have done for Indian football, or rather not have done for Indian football. I think that is the question that these clubs, because every stakeholder has a role to play. It's easy to only blame the AIFF. And we sensationalize the history of Indian football and make it so great, and don't realize that Indian football's history is actually, a Netflix series of failures. The successes which are being sold are not at the level that we want and we should be. So, who's been around for 100 years? So, that's the question. If you say no pay, they will get one more window ban, and the ban will continue until they pay. Yeah. Ranjib and Delhi both should be penalized since they signed the clause of East Bengal paying for Anwar fine, which they were foolish enough to sign it. They are getting the clean sheet. I don't think so, F0. They will not get a clean sheet because the fines explicitly says is 3 parties. And if they bring out this contract, which of course is there is more trouble. And yes, Ronaldo, not only you said what is right from day one and stick to, and you were right. And yes, it's just that 1 to 13, whatever happens, I'm against you after the match. I'm back. Not a problem, Rithro. And as long you support your club, but you're willing to realize, that your club has done something wrong, and you speak out against it. That's the only thing that I call on all fans anywhere in the world. I have the same problem with some of my friends here in Germany who don't want to say that their club XYZ does something wrong. Right? So that's the thing. And, we'll be rivals for 90 minutes. And after the 90 minutes, we'll have some banter. Someone will be happy, someone will be unhappy, most probably, or both might be happy or both might be unhappy. Let's see. Who controls CAS? Is it a government body or FIFA body? No, it's an independent body of legal scholars. Hyderabad FC and Anwar Ali are such in opposite dimension cases in Indian football clubs not paying dues and players not honoring contracts. Also, we should stop with CAS. CVC went to CAS and lost. Yeah. Exactly. Because people don't value and honor contracts and what is right. They think that they're there. Off topic, but if you're a wealthy person, want to teach some port chef some lessons, drag the guy to port with nonsense, it should just cause him mental. What is to do? Huh? Don't get that question, Abhijit. CAS is an independent body. Yes, Shushmit. Do you think the verdict was delayed for national team as they wanted AI to play a national team? Blue, some people will say that. They've taken their time. You see the wording. They wanted to be correct. They wanted to be right. I think that's another topic. Because it's a challenge to put all of this together. So yeah, they've done their work. Could have most probably released it a few days earlier, but maybe it was something. Fan of Indian football was saying that he's confident the fine will be reduced by Plototi. How is it said that when the this party failed to submit burden of proof? BG, no point of discussing this. These people have been saying so many things in the last few weeks, and none of it is true. Right? It is not even true, but outright lies. Well, if you don't want to accept the facts, there's no point of talking about it. So, again, you guys, if you... My piece of advice, as I think I'm elder than most of you here, or maybe all, as an older brother, Watch platforms where the information is right, where the information is truthful, and where the information is genuine. Don't support all these platforms who are, you know, spreading misinformation, lies, false narratives. Don't support them. Don't follow them. That would be my advice. Because if people follow them, that makes them big. Don't do that. You know, I'm not saying follow me, but if you think I'm right, yeah, do follow me. I would love it if more people follow, and then we can grow the community. Manolo could consider Nishu Kumar's Anwar are not going to play in October. Good opportunity for Nishu. Nishu Kumar is nowhere near the national team, and he's not a centre back. How those East Bengal fans don't have a common sense. If you induce a contract player, there's always consequence for that. But who's going to tell those East Bengal fans? Bikram, yeah. The question is, if it was the other way around, again, we were having a different discussion the other day, and then Mohun Bagan fans didn't want to accept it. Kerala Blaster fans don't want to accept it. That's a general problem. So the threats of not paying are useless as well. They have to pay, or their ban will continue. Yep. No, yes, that's the point. So the threats in the media are not directed at the PSC or the AIFF or whoever else. It's directed at their own fans. That's showing, hey, listen, we're doing something. We are fighting this matter. That's correct. How can I play an option to listen to this? Yeah. There is only one counter that is okay. After 10 years of us, I see a lack of standard in our playing style. Are we actually growing or just conducting an event today? I was seeing a Super League Kerala match from pitch to player. Nitin, we are not conducting just for the sake of conducting, because I think a lot of things around the field, around the pitch, improved. The Super League Kerala to me is an interesting project. So give it time. Let's see how it evolves. But again, on the field, we have a problem. And question, did Cologne has a transfer ban now? Did they sign players before and free players? Sorry. Good question, Shushmit. I would have to check, but I don't think they can, as long as the case is. I'm just thinking, because FC Cologne at the moment here in Germany, who got relegated in the second tier, are facing a ban. We'll have to think. Shushmit, I'll have to think and get back to you. Victor Roque, Barcelona player moved to Real Betis on 2-year loan deal. If multi-year loan deal doesn't exist, then how Spanish version did the steep placements? It exists. That's the whole point. It still exists. The only 1-year loan deals regulations is starting next year. So Bayern send goalkeeper Nübel to Stuttgart on a 2-year loan deal. So they are all still there. How a club who has induced to commit crime by Anwar and so their fans, how they're confident not to able to punishment. Bijit, I don't know. I really don't know. And that's what I'm saying. The question needs to be asked, Hi, Fiction Nerd. I really think considering if you want to see anything good from Indian team in the 6 to 8 years, it is not possible without OCI, PIO players, or we can wait to see if grassroots improve. Fiction Nerd, the 15, 16 years with grassroots would only work if we're doing the right work today. Today. Are we doing the right things in grassroots today? We're not. Right? OCI players, to me, we'd be better team in a year to 18 months, right? For the players to settle down. And down the road, it would most probably be that India also will turn into an OCI team, right? So that would force most probably our players to get better. So I don't know. Let's wait and see. When will this overpaying players and no good development system stops until Indian football dies? Blue, that's a danger, right? It's not. Let's not say it's dying, but it's not moving in the right direction, right? So that's my concern. Please explain how does it work in Europe when player wants to leave and both parties can't agree on virtual termination. In that case, what player can do to leave? Can he buy his own contract? No, he can't. If you don't have a termination clause, you have to find a mutual, normally you find something. Sometimes then players, we've seen it at Dortmund, for example, Ousmane Dembele or Aubameyang went on a strike and then Barcelona or Arsenal, it was Arsenal, they upped their offers and that somehow worked. But otherwise, if one of the two sides don't, for example, Bayern Munich wanted to get rid of Leon Goretzka in the summer. Leon Goretzka is one of the highest paid players at Bayern, and any other club you would go, you would earn much, much less. Bayern couldn't get him off their books. They were desperate to get him off their books. But if there is no mutual termination, you have to continue the contract. And sometimes we have had, no one comes to mind at the moment. There have been players who spent the last year of their contract on in the tribune, sitting in the stands. Osimhen, for example, right? Napoli said, Osimhen not going to Chelsea because I don't know why it didn't work out. They said, we will not play him. We'll put him in the stands. And then he went to Galatasaray in the last moment. So mutual, both sides. That's normal in the world of football. From the very first day you appointed, everything happened around this was absolutely rubbish. Still, I don't get how East Bengal supporters still thinking punishment will be reduced. God save their emotions. Afrin Shavankar, I can't say anything more. I can only put the facts in front of everybody and then say these are the rules and regulations. And if we follow them, great. If we don't follow them, we will be in the situation we are in. And that's the reality at the moment. Canvas, because they're partly delusional and being fed fake news on a daily basis. I think that's the problem. That the fake news is a problem in and around Indian football at the moment. That there are people who are spreading information which is not right, which is not correct, and which is harming Indian football and harming the growth of Indian football, because fans are one of the most important aspects in football. And without fans, what is football? But fans also need to question, right? Like Indian football fans are not questioning, but I was questioning Steamage last summer when we won the SAF Cup because I saw we were not good. We won, but we were not good. And it was clear that at some stage this whole thing would collapse, and it collapsed badly. And this is the end result is the current state of the Indian national football team, right? If you look at it, Steven handed over a perfect team to Igor Stimac. Stimac handed over a disaster to Manolo. That's the difference. I think it's the case where every team loses. Monvagan, it's Scott Vance, Abi, his reputation, East Bengal's money. Yeah. There are no winners in this case. This is an embarrassing episode for Indian football. Right? Syria actually spared India. If they took India that seriously, at least 5-0 would have been the score. Yeah, Sunawar, I agree. Can Mohun Bagan now go to ethics committee for inducement and not take permission from one before talking to Anwar? Yeah, surely they can. Sir, is Delhi out of compensation with that weird clause, or they are in, as PSC said? Blue, according to me, Delhi FC will have to pay some part of the compensation. Now the question is, what are going to be the backroom dealings? I don't know. some of the East Bengal players' contract going to end in terms of if the verdict was then East Bengal give extension offer to those players. Yes, contracted players can be extended, but if a player wants to leave, again, we saw that with FC Cologne, right? FC Cologne has now a 2-window transfer ban, and they got relegated. That's the worst case scenario, and now they're in a situation where they can't sign players. So they tried a lot of players actually did stay back. That's credit to them, but some players said, no, I want to play in the Bundesliga. AIFF is restarting Indian Arrows U20 back, and I don't know how they can do well without a good coach. Shaggy, it's a question of let the I-League dates and all that be set, because I-League clubs are telling me we don't even know when it's going to start. Maybe now we know where Anwar's mind was in the last game. Yeah, Deepak, mind, yes, but quality is also a question which we're not asking, right? Yesterday, North Korea draw against Qatar 2-0. What are we doing? Yeah, that's AIFF players are playing with fans' emotions. Yeah, can't say anything else. That's the reality. East Bengal are being completely mismanaged, even though they knew the consequences, but still they decided to proceed with the deal. It's like Woodkeeper Marna moment for them. Yeah, FC Euro. Manveer Singh shouldn't be called to national team again. Tridev, okay, you don't call him, but then who do we call? Who are the alternatives? That's the other problem in a lot of, and especially with the strikers. Don't know, Abhijit. It's too complex. Sorry, don't know what the answer is. ISL team condition आमदनी अपना 4 रुपए. We need under 23 league. What is the AIFF doing? It's nice thought, but no one wants to spend the money on another 23 league. Not happening. Some people are saying no club should profit for a contract termination. My question, why not, when the unilateral termination is directly affecting the club's plans? So why not? Blue, I think, it's not just about the financial loss in regard to the contract. It's also about reputation, this, that, everything. So you can claim. Right? It's a very complex thing. So it's not just, hey, listen, we do this, we do that, and not going to work. Right. 1 hour and 18 minutes. Wow, I didn't realize it went off very fast today. Thanks a lot. 1,659 followers. Welcome to those of you who are new. Those of you who've been around, thanks a lot, as always. Yeah, big point of discussions today, of course, the Anwar Ali thing. 55 likes to the video. Thanks a lot, guys. Spread it. Let's get more people involved in our conversations. Why if not learning, they can refer what ASEAN region teams are doing to web grassroots football. It's not on the AIFF today. I think it's the AIFF. It's on the clubs, it's on the academies, and therefore it will not work. So therefore, we need to develop our own models for grassroots. I think Mizoram has done a lot of things, right. So therefore, these are the challenges which I see. I'm not a legal person, hence asking if Imani East Bengal Private Limited declared themselves bankrupt, then they have to give the fine. Jay, there are two things. One is if the entity shuts down and says, listen, and this is a real reality which I see with Delhi FC being a possibility, right? That they might say, listen, we might go out of business. The question is then, does someone else in the place of Imami East Bengal play the ISL or play in the league system? If you are going to play in the league system, that entity will have to bear the fine. The only option is if East Bengal, as a sporting entity, does never play football again. Then the fine would not be paid. But then Anwar Ali is still there, so Anwar will most probably have to bear the whole fine. Right? That would be my logic, but again, might be wrong. North Korea scored a lane wrong range against physically superior Qatar and started raining and the pitch was difficult. Then the second goal was an absolute blind of the 35 charge and pouring rain. Yeah, XYZ happens, right? Whenever Candid produces a lot of young players, if transfer ban affect them considering basically Delhi FC Academy? No. Minerva Academy is different than Delhi FC. Other U20 teams are playing regular friendlies. What about RE under 20s doing after subsequently sleeping F as such? We've played, we are practicing, preparations are terrible. The team is whatever. Yeah, that's the reality at the moment. If they can get away, but unlike because they would jeopardize. Yes, that's right, Shushmit. Do you believe eventually will allow us players? So now, when I first raised the topic with the AIFF in 2001, and then we spoke with the government, I thought, yeah, it's going to happen sooner than later. We then tried some PIO models. PIO players were allowed in the NFL I-League. Izumi Arata is the only one who actually succeeded because, again, to me, it was very clear that not the right PIO talent would be attracted to the leagues to come and play in India. And some tried, some failed miserably because, again, Indian conditions are not for everyone. So therefore, for me, I don't know. I wish. It's the same thing as like you could ask me if India is going to play the World Cup. I wish, yes. I hope, but I don't know. You know, I don't have this magic ball where I can do this. I feel we're not growing in football because of lack of techniques and finding talent at nation stage, coupled with no research in the field of sports. This was also in recent Olympics. It is, yes, but again, talent is, finding talent is one, developing talent is another thing, and finding exceptional talent. You know, we need to find those exceptional, yeah, that's Nitin, that's the challenge, right? The exceptional talent. Can we find the Messis, the Lamine Yamals, the Jamal Musialas, you know, the Mbappes, the Hollands? You know, we're finding nothing. We're not even finding Baichung Bhutias and Sunil Chetri these days. The money that Mohanbag and Superjan are receiving, one should spend into an Indian CDM or send away the winter transfer or sign a player with the transfer fee immediately. There is nothing good free in the market. I would wait for Jan and let the money be transferred. The money is not there, right? 45 days from today. Do you think bringing back Constantine in charge of men's national team for 3 years work? Or should, I think at the moment, Stephen has a job in Pakistan. I don't think Stephen wants to come back. But if there was an option, given the realities, maybe next year, yeah, there could be a discussion about it. One player destroyed the club, or I should say East Bengal themselves did. East Bengal themselves. The player, yes, but it's not the player himself also. I feel India's 2019 AFC Asian Cup team was the peak we saw in recent times instead of going forwards and backwards in all these 6 years. Yes, very well said. I was there. I saw those games. I was proud. Do you see Indonesia most developed team in recent years drawing Australia, Saudi, Shaw, Dubai, play? Yeah. I don't understand how they come up with 8 crore of the compensation, but is that the case? Then I should pay the full remaining salary team, and the termination was also unjust as per contract. Harsha, those are two different things. You're comparing apple with oranges because coaches and players are handled in different ways for whatever reasons. I don't know why. Therefore, yeah. How much money can you increase any party goes to CAS? Abhan, I'm not sure how much exactly, but if I look at the numbers, it could potentially double, right? Or even go higher. Do we need OCI players or OCI staff? Nitin, I think we need OCI players and potentially OCI staff, OCI people administrators, other people working in football. There are tons of people working around the world in football. Quality people who could help us. North Korea draw Qatar, upset Japan scoring 5 against Bahrain. No, that's normal, I guess. It seems like East Bengal and AIFF both have same guy for contract management money month for Monwag and Igor. I don't think so. The AIFF had a flaw in their contract, and Igor used it to his best of his capabilities, but Igor didn't get the full compensation, so that has also been said. Who's the next Indian striker who can be called in men's national team? Salman were two good wingers, but not strikers. I think Brahim Ali at the moment. Do you know who's going to coach U20 team in I-League? No. Let's see if they play first. Few days ago, said Rami is at least in the right place at the right time. A centre for one reason. Doing that, doesn't he deserve a chance in the national team? Yes, Ajay, I think. And I felt that Rahim Ali, when he was playing, especially in the Qatar game, he was trying. Japan will beat Australia by 3 or 4 goals. Just remember how many would Japan score against India. I don't want to, Arijit, right? So that's that. Listen, it's 7:45 here in Germany, 11:15 in India. So slowly I want to come to the end. As always, thank you to everyone who's following the channel, 1,659 people. Thanks a lot to everyone for following, for growing the channel, for supporting, and as always, like, share, and subscribe, as I love to say. 61 likes today. Thanks a lot. We're growing towards the 2,000. Slowly, we're growing. Thanks a lot. Because in an hour Germany plays the Netherlands, so I want to slowly get ready for that game. And so therefore, guys, slowly coming to an end. Today, I'll be back tomorrow night with another show. I will do a video separately on the Anwar thing later on and put together again. Germany, Netherlands now. Need to watch some quality football. And as I said, like, share, and subscribe. And always, as I say, remain with the truth. Remember what are the facts. And don't fall, for the wrong information and all the other things. And good night, Blue. And also, reminder, I've been doing preview videos of different ISL teams. I've so far done Mohun Bagan, Mumbai City, FC Goa, and Odisha FC. So if you haven't, do have a watch. See if you like them. I'll be doing more FC Goa. More Kerala Blasters is going to be next, and other videos. So do watch the channel. Thanks a lot for your support as always, and I'll be back tomorrow night. Good night, everyone.